Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It's Tuesday, and yep, it's time to talk some Major League Baseball. If you watched the show yesterday, maybe a little heavier in your pocket. Today is a nice day all the way around for the crew right here. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are going to bring the heat for you on a Tuesday. No afternoon games. So we got some time to spin it around, really digest some of these games later on tonight. A couple nice spots that I have picked out as well. So good time to get off to a good start. Jason, how are we feeling today? Big Tuesday.
Yeah, yesterday was a great day. We went 2-0 in the MLB. Trying to keep that going into today. Got a couple bets that we'll share. And, excited. It was a great long weekend. But back to the grind for you guys. We're already grinding. We've already been doing it since yesterday during the holiday. Doesn't matter what day it is, we're grinding. But good to have some of you guys back in the chat and excited for the week to continue.
2:30 p.m. I've been all over the state of New Jersey, but no place I'd rather be than right here than talking with Jason and Kyle for some Major League Baseball action. Kyle, what's good today? Cashing tickets yesterday. And by the way, Atlanta Braves, thank you yesterday for not pulling a normal Atlanta Braves when I bet you. Yeah. Thank you for coming up big and getting that. Go ahead, Kyle. What you got today, baby?
Yeah, the Braves did come up big, and we got the Acuna home run prop. It's always nice to get on the right train there. So, yeah, excited for today. Now, the NBA let me down a little bit, so luckily baseball saved my ass yesterday, and I'm excited for baseball to save my ass again today because I'm sure I'll screw up the NBA later on tonight as well. So excited to be here with you boys, and glad that Donnie made it back in time from his model photo shoot. Donnie doing some modeling. You'll see him soon. And what is it, Men's Fitness or Good Housekeeping? Which one?
Yep, taking over from Michael Jordan with Hanes. So I'm good to go here. Tag, nice. Shirts, all that. You know, it's what we do here. But guys, by the way, thank you for tuning in each and every day. As we always appreciate it. 86,200 subscribers here on our YouTube channel right here with sportsbookreview.com. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on, because when we go live, you can come in and say hello. And by the way, you want to turn the notification bell on for something that's about to take place. You have a little bit of time here. It starts in 2 weeks. Sportsbookreview.com is running a free cash prize of over $20,000 in Bitcoin for a Major League Baseball season this year. It's very simple. If you take a look at sportsbookreview.com, you want to hit the link below. That's just below. See where we're talking right here, me, Kyle, and Jason, right there, sbrpicks.com/MLB, and get involved. It starts June 14th. As I said again, $20,000 in Bitcoin up for grab throughout the summer in Major League Baseball, and it has to deal with totals. So the minute I see that, guys, I'm like, where do I sign up? And, of course, is what I like to say, if it's free, it's me. And it looks like very simple here. Each day, submit a team and a tiebreaker of total hits for that team's game. And all of a sudden, you can be a champion. Why? If your team scores 10 runs, its exact score will be added to your run score. If they score 10, 11, or 12, what is the goal here? Score more runs than the other person. I got to tell you, this is right in my wheelhouse, Jason.
Yeah, it sounds great. Definitely something you guys should all join 100%. And there's no better show than this show right here to tell you guys about overs and hits. So definitely watch this before you put your bets in.
Now, also, take a look here, Kyle. No cheating, right? So, I mean, we can't just go, let's go Braves every single day and try to take this thing down, right?
Of course. That's what I'm going to do, just take the Braves every day. Braves, Dodgers, just click, 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 click. Obviously, all the money's mine. No, it's a lot of fun. Free contest. It's the biggest SBR MLB contest they've ever done. So be sure you check it out.
Yeah, and also I'll make sure that you see the sbrpicks.com/MLB, address down below. We'll make sure we get a running link also if it's not already in it. Let me hit the show more drop-down box as we're going live on this. So I'm sure probably something in there will be able to help us out. If not, we'll be sure to add that as the week goes on. But let's start talking about some Major League Baseball this evening. Now, again, it's a beautiful thing that we can start this off. 9:15, 9:16, 7:05 tonight. You know who's on the mound? Glass now. You know who's on the opposite side for the Yankees? That is Herman. If we take a look at the odds here, slight favorite towards Tampa Bay, -122. But my question to you, Jason, 5th inning, 6th inning, 7th inning, when do we jump in and see that Yankees first run here?
We're just kind of waiting for those Yankees to figure it out offensively. I think I saw 30 games this year with 3 or less runs for the Yankees. They're the Bronx Bombers. They're not supposed to be doing that. But I do think the Yankees turned it around eventually. Maybe it could be today against Glasnow, who's hasn't looked the best in form throughout the last month of the season. A lot of home runs, has struggled against righties a little bit. The walks are also high against righties. So the Yankees, they have potential there. They do walk a ton. They're also going to strike out a ton, but you might get some power out of a Stanton, might get some power out of a Judge, and you might get some runs from the Yankees early in this game. I think the Yankees at plus 110 in the first 5, there's some value there. I do think they score some runs. So yeah, I would look at the Yankees in this spot against Glasnow. It's always those like weird spots where teams decide to start hitting the ball. If it's not Jacob deGrom, any of the other like big ace pitchers, they always kind of struggle in these spots. Seems like Glasnow could be in for an okay day. He won't be terrible, but he might allow a couple of runs, and the Yankees might win the first 5. And you get that at plus money. I think the Yankees have a shot here.
I think Jason might be sick today, Kyle, talking about a couple runs from the Yankees over the first 5 innings here. What do you think?
Well, and see, now I'm nervous because I'm going to dog on the Yankees right now. We know what happens when I dog on something. The complete opposite happens. So tonight the Yankees might score 35 runs in the first inning. But if you go off their trend and what they've been doing, they don't score in the first 5 innings, and you've got a good pitcher in Glasnow on the mound, you're getting the Rays minus 0.5 at plus 105 in the first 5 innings. I'm all over that. I'm sorry. Look, the Yankees do not score in the first 5 innings, so all we need the Rays to do is score one damn run off Herman. If you actually look at the last 5 starts for Herman versus Tampa Bay, -3, 18, 15, and then in the middle there, 27 and 37. So he's actually not been very good against this lineup. When you flip it around the other way, Glasnow, 39, 39, 55, 35, and he did have one subpar outing at 13. So I'm seeing plus money against the Yankees in the first 5 innings against a Rays team who's been red hot and scoring on everyone. I'm taking the plus money, minus 0.5 in the first 5 with the Rays.
Very good thing for the Yankees lineup tonight. They do walk a lot. Very bad thing, they also strike out a lot. Take a look at the FanDuel Sportsbook here. Tyler Glasnow's strikeouts are over 8.5 at plus 106. We'll see how it turns out tonight, but it's always interesting to see a 7.5 up there in the Bronx, and we will certainly see what's going to take place. But I got a feeling that, yes, we're probably going to be dipping in on a Yankees team total later in the game after Glasnow finally gets tired and that bullpen comes in. You can't, you take 9 outs with 1 run, right, Kyle? We do that all day long, huh?
It's just too easy, right? It's just too easy. Just sit back, wait for it to happen. But while you're waiting for it to happen, why not win a bet in the first 5 innings while they don't score and Tampa Bay squeaks 1 or 2 across? Boom. It just seems like easy money to me now. Again, we know what happens when I say that, but that's how it looks to me on paper right now.
You know what Jason wants to do to right now? You ever go in the summer when you're a kid, you take the magnifying glass off and you burn like the ants? He's probably going to take those glasses off and burn you with those in just a few minutes here for talking smack on that Yankees play with the first 5. We'll see how it turns out, but the Yankees have been terrible and so profitable for me at the same time. And look, I love taking team total overs. You're like, you're getting wasted with the Yankees. Not so fast, man. The ones at plus 112, plus 110s, hilarious stuff here as they continue. You know what else is hilarious? Great segue. 901-902. Philadelphia and Cincinnati. Aaron Nola's on the mound. Fantastic. Sonny Gray's on the mound. All right. So Phillies, let's go tonight. Let me crystal ball right here, or as Akbar is in the chat box usually likes. Let me make a phone call to the future. Yes, let me get the box score for the Phillies tonight. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Phillies got killed tonight. All right, have at it. Jason, what do you think tonight?
The Reds minus 110. Go for the full game. The Reds, sometimes they don't show up in the first 5 innings. At times they did for me earlier when we were on the show. But I think the full game is the way to go for the Reds. With Nola on the mound, sometimes Nola does have his good moments, but he's also kind of struggled as well. If you look at his stuff, 28 hits in the last 27.2 innings pitched, allowed 4 home runs and 8 walks, not getting a high amount of ground balls. And now he's allowed 3 runs or more in 5 of his last 7 starts. So Nola hasn't been the Nola that we're used to seeing. There are times where he'll pitch well and then kind of struggle towards the end of his starts. But I do think that there's potential there for the Reds to score some runs against Phillies here. And I think Gray is probably the better pitcher looking back at the last 30 days and the last month or so. So I do like the Reds here in the full game. But it could be a low-scoring game or it could be a high-scoring game. Both of these pitchers are really hard to predict. Sometimes they just don't bring it, and sometimes they really do bring it. So be careful on this one, but I do like the Reds in here.
If Aaron Nola pitches well, the Phillies will be in it. But being said the Phillies will be in it, what does that mean? They're only behind 2 runs at this point? It's so hard to take the Phillies unless you're just fading them at this point. Now, they're close to 500. I understand it, but they're really spinning out of control here on this road trip. And if you can predict where the Phillies will get 5 runs off of Sonny Gray in that bullpen, I mean, yeah, they might win the game. But that's a tough way to ask for the Philadelphia Phillies. And take a look at the lineup. They're just trying to, shuffle chairs on the Titanic, so to speak. And it's about time. Andrew McCutchen pretty soon hopefully will be in the 8-hole and then soon DFA'd out of the lineup. If you stink already, move the old-timers out of the lineup. Give anybody a chance. Even the Phillies have no prospects whatsoever that they can bring up. Andrew McCutchen shouldn't be in the lineup anymore here, Kyle. Taking a look at this game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds, it just comes down to I trust Aaron Nola. I trust Sonny Gray. I have zero trust in that Phillies lineup to put up runs, so I'm looking towards the Reds in this game.
Yeah, I saw in the chat box someone said lean Phillies. If you lean Phillies, you might just fall right on down. You might just fall over. I mean, that's what's going to happen there because you can't rely on this lineup. I trust the Reds lineup more. Both these teams, solid pitchers on the mound tonight. These are both, above average arms, I would say, on the mound for both teams. And then they both have dreadful bullpens. So when you look at the tiebreaker here on things you can trust, I would lean the Reds. Nothing official for me. This one for me is a complete stay away game. I have no desire to bet this game, but if I was going, I agree with Jason. I would take the Reds first 5 and full time. I just trust that lineup just a little bit more. And by the way, Jesse Winker does profile very nicely off of Aaron Nola if you want to use him in DFS.
Now, here's a perfect response. So when you take a look at this game, you say, listen, there's like a toss-up here. If Aaron Nola pitches well, if Sonny Gray pitches well, both of these team totals opening before first pitch are at 3.5. Within like 6 outs, these are going to be 2.5s and 2s and even less than that, which then you're digging on some bullpens that can be had. So if Sonny Gray overextends, just to say pitches well, 6 innings and 7, 8, and 9 for the Philadelphia Phillies and only have 1 run, you might get an over 2 at like plus 115. And that's maybe seemingly worthy, but before the game starts, I'm certainly not looking to take the Philadelphia Phillies until I can see some action out of those 9. Let's keep going down the list. Not late night, 9:45. So most people be up on the West Coast where they're watching NBA action, Major League Baseball action. You could dip into this one. Angels and the San Francisco Giants. Heaney, the lefty, on the mound versus Alex Wood, the lefty. A 158 price at FanDuel here in New Jersey. A 154 offshore Pinnacle as a favorite towards the San Francisco Giants. It's a good baseball team right here. They are still in first place. And how about this? We're going to spend some time maybe tomorrow and just pick on a couple of these divisions. Do you know right now the San Francisco Giants, Jason, are in first place and an 18-1, not to win the World Series, to win the division?
Crazy.
Yeah, they've been terrific. Obviously, their pitching has been really good. And I think nobody really talks about their hitting. They platoon a lot of guys. Their bench is probably the best bench in all of baseball. Yesterday, you had guys like Wilmer Forrest coming off the bench and doing some work, and Solano coming off the bench, and they're just a really, really deep team. Their pitching has been overachieving, but I think that might be what they are. Like Gausman, for example, has been terrific, and really he's in talks for the Cy Young now. Alex Wood kind of restructuring his career and looks terrific, and going up today against Andrew Heaney, who's been, of course, terrible. The Angels, they're just a terrible team. Heaney letting up a dozen runs in his last 3 starts. You've got this lineup without Ohtani, and it looks like with a lefty, he might not be in the lineup again. We'll have to see what happens there. But really, there's nobody in the Angels lineup that you're scared of at all when you're a pitcher. And that when you go to the Giants, they destroy lefties, they destroy righties because they can platoon a bunch of different guys that hit well against lefties and righties, and that's why they're playing so well. So I do like the Giants at minus 160 for the full game. I like the Giants at minus 1.5 at plus 135 for the full game, and you could obviously take them minus 0.5 in the first 5. But I think this is all Giants from here.
We take a look here, Kyle, at this game, and if we want to specify the Angels lineup, look at Upton leading off here. ISO 289, 366 versus Wood, the lefty. That's really as good as it gets, and he's having a very good year. Gosselin, 286, 484, weighted on base average. The first 2 guys, legitimate. The next, 7? Complete and utter garbage. I don't know how you back the Angels.
Yeah, I'm all over the Giants tonight, and as Jason alluded to, I'm on them minus 0.5 in the first 5. It's actually an official play for me at minus 110.
Yeah.
Look, Heaney stinks. Wood doesn't stink, and that Angels lineup stinks, and the Giants don't. I mean, it's that simple. I know it sounds basic, but it really is that simple. Now, I will say Anthony Rendon, who has been just, I mean, I know a few games ago he had a couple hits. Hasn't been great. Goose eggs the last 2 games. He is 13 of 23 lifetime off of Alex Wood. 12 of those hits were singles, 1 home run, so you can take that as you will. But no Ohtani, no Trout. You know, beginning of the year, you told us we're getting this Angels lineup with a lefty on the mound, a hittable lefty. You'd be all over it, but we're just not. I actually like the Giants. I like them quite a bit. I think they get it done in the first 5. One of my official plays of the day. If you look at some of the advantages in this lineup tonight, Slater at the top, 42% advantage. Longoria in the cleanup spot, 39%. Posey, 43%. Solano, 20%. So the top of the order, nice advantages. And then Jason touched on it. You can bring in Mauricio Dubon, Wilmer Flores. You can platoon all of these right-handed hitters to come in tonight against Heaney. It's Giants or bust for me. Give me the -0.5 in the first 5.
There you go. As we keep on spinning it around and moving on, we're going to get to some value menu wagers and firing on some fast food. Now, a good part today is I got 2 value menu wagers. Bad part today is I don't have a best bet and banker. Look, we have those that are ready to fire up. We win the majority of those, but let's get down to some business here on what makes sense. And I got to tell you, this one just missed it because the price is a little bit high for us. And I'm talking about Minnesota going to Baltimore here. At the FanDuel Sportsbook, it's a 5 at -110 here. So you need 6 runs to cash it in. Do I think they're going to get 6? I honestly do. Zimmerman, the lefty on the mound for the Orioles, has been wretched. 4.88 xFIP, but that doesn't even tell the story. Take a look at his weighted on base numbers to lefties, 399. How about righties? 363. Then you look at this lineup that is going to stack right-handed batters against Zimmerman tonight. Garlick, Donaldson, Cruz, Garver, Polanco, Sano, Refsnyder, and Simmons. Every single person on that team outside of Anderson Simmons has an elevated ISO power number this year versus left-handed batters. I don't see where they slow down today. I do think they get to 6 runs, but just above, like we see how hard it is to get from that 4 to 5 number here and to cash those tickets. Now going from 5 to 6 a little bit much, but I am betting that game and I've already betted at the 5. Second one I'm going to take a look at, that is the Kansas City Royals tonight going up against Pittsburgh. Yes, normally you would think Kansas City, they can't hit anybody, but trust me, Will Crow, always one of my best friends here on the mound when I do need some runs. Take a look at his season so far. A 123 for his xFIP minus, a 5.67 ERA, which equates out to a 4.94 xFIP and a 4.96 Sierra. They're going to get some runs tonight. MGM has that at 4.5, -105. My 2 value menu wager plays, Minnesota's team total, Kansas City's team total. We'll lead on that tonight. What do you got today, Jason, on the value menu?
Yeah, looking at this Tigers and Brewers game, Yelich over 1.5 on the total bases is at +145.
Jason today, what the fuck? I love this.
Wow. He had 9 plate appearances against lefties since returning from his injury, but he does have a high weighted OBA of 419, ISO of 286, and you're getting it at +145. I do like the Brewers here against Boyd. Boyd, he's struggled recently a little bit more than earlier, not getting as many strikeouts, and really hasn't been all that. Even though he's put up better numbers, he's still not getting high strikeouts, and balls are still going in play. I think Yelich turns around here. That has a good day here. I do like the Brewers lineup. Just with that said, but Yelich over 1.5 total bases at +145. There's a ton of value there for him to get an extra base hit at +145.
By the way, Kyle, before we get to the value menu wagers, they keep on showing on repeat Refsnyder running into the center field wall when we were live on the air yesterday. This is one of the best plays of the year I've ever seen. Like a center fielder who has no idea where he's at on the field. It actually still makes me laugh to this day. Go ahead, firing on fast food, Kyle, for yourself.
It actually reminds me, my mom had this blind Jack Russell, and the Jack Russell knew its way around the house pretty well, but occasionally it'd get itself outside and try to sprint through the doggy door and miss completely and just boosh, boosh, fall over. And I mean, we love the dog, but it was damn funny to watch. So some value menu plays today. By the way, someone did mention in the chat, Longoria is injured. He did leave that game in the 6th inning last night. It's a side strain. They're doing an MRI, but he did play with that injury last year as well. So he's day-to-day and very possible he could be in the lineup, equally as possible that he's not. Of course, if you follow us on Twitter, we have that important information on our timelines if you follow that. So for some value plays today, I've got a couple of them here. I've got a nice little sprinkle on that Rays -0.5 and the first 5 at +105. Look, I just don't believe the Yankees can score before the 5th inning. I think the Rays can, so I like that. I like the no runs first inning in that Miami-Toronto game. Ray and Alcantara, I think they can get through that first inning. Both pitchers profile very nicely at the top of the order. Some home run props here. Freddie Freeman has been very, very good off of here. Let me pull up his actual numbers here as I scroll to it. Off of Strasburg in his career, 20 of 63 for his career, 317 average, 4 home runs, 6 doubles. I think Freddie Freeman has a shot tonight, and I also really like Chris Bryant tonight off of the lefty Weathers for the Padres. He has a huge advantage here. What is it? A 68% advantage here. He's been red hot. I think Chris Bryant can go yard as well. And just one more sprinkle in that Dodgers-Cardinals game. I do like the over 8.5. We sort of joked about it before the show. Gant with that low ERA is sort of a fraud there. Dodgers lineup getting healthy off of righties. I think they can get it done. You've got the old can Price, who I know has good numbers, but isn't really an innings eater against those righty bats of Goldschmidt, Arenado, et cetera, in St. Louis. I think some runs could be scored there as well. So I'll take the over 8.5 runs for a few McNuggets tonight as well.
Best bets and bankers on your baseball card today. And I am going to abstain 18-9 on the season with best bets and bankers, but I am going to abstain today. Oh, I mean, so close from firing once again on the Minnesota Twins today to pick up that cheddar. But I'm just going to stick those to a little bit lower levels. If those plays are there, we'll swing away. And that's the best part about this show between myself, Jason, and Kyle. We're not just handing up best bets and bankers like, this would be fun. Let the kids play on this and eat on that. No, that's not the way we get down. When we really have something that's ready to go that we have a serious advantage on, we'll let you know. Bring it up, Jason. What you got today? Any best bets and bankers on this card today?
Yeah, I mean, you brought up the Twins. I am on the Twins at minus 0.5 in the first 5.
Let's go.
They need to get 6 runs for that team total ticket to cash. So if they don't score 2 or 3 runs in the first 5 innings, they're going to be in trouble to hit that number. So I do think the Twins will be able to score some early runs. Pineda's on the mound for Minnesota, just pitched against the Orioles. In his last start, allowed just 1 run and 3 hits and had, I think, a season high of 8 strikeouts in that game. There's really nobody on that Orioles lineup that really concerns you much. Like Mullins, Galvis, Mancini, they could produce. Nothing really stands out. Santander, Stewart would be the only guys that have the potential to hit for power against as lefties against the righty. So I do like the Twins here in the first 5. I think they get the job done by multiple runs. So I'm on that minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115. My next bet and my last bet of the night, it's a late night game, but it's a game I'm going to be watching anyway. It's the Mets minus 112 via FanDuel, full game on the money line. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Mets and Caleb Smith.
Wait, what happened?
It's my 3rd time betting the Mets all year. I'm 1-1 on the Mets so far, so hopefully we can make that 2-1. But Caleb Smith on the mound for the Diamondbacks, only a 2nd start of the season. The Mets actually already have 3 runs against him in just 2 innings when he pitched in relief. The last time they faced him, the Mets lineup starting to kind of get some players back. You saw Pete Alonso come back with a big RBI single, also a big home run. So there's a lot of guys back in the lineup. Lindor also starting to produce. McCann also starting to produce a little bit. So the Mets are starting to make some noise a little bit. Stroman, really consistent, goes about 6 innings per start, usually solid with quality start. So I expect that again against the Diamondbacks. It seems like you just pitched against the Rockies and allowed no runs in 6 innings. That's basically what the Diamondbacks are. They're like the Rockies. They're not that great offensively, and Stroman's been worse against righties. Well, they're going to have most lefties batting. It'll probably be around 5 or 6 lefties in the line for the Diamondbacks. So I like Stroman here, I like the Mets, minus 112 via FanDuel. That's an official play for me.
You know what the best part about that is? It's a 9:40 start tonight for the Mets. Kyle, can you just see it about maybe 10:41? That the next door neighbor just hears somebody chanting by himself, "Let's go Mets!" So
yeah, exactly.
You can just see it. You can see
it happening.
They're
sitting at 0 runs, and Lindor has struck out on a curveball 4,000 feet out of the strike zone. Yep, exactly.
Vitalis says the Lindor home run prop. I don't think they've hung a home run prop before because right. So.
It's probably plus 40,000? What is it? Plus 10,000? I don't know. I can't even imagine what it is right now.
Best bets and bankers here tonight, Kyle, in your card. What you got?
Well, I'm going to start with the Washington Nationals. Now, listen, this team is scary, and they are not a high-run producing team, and they're somehow last place in the NL Least. But I like the Nationals today against Max Fried. Max Fried's an absolute can. The projected lineup for the Nationals tonight is a career 25 of 74, 338 average in his last 5 starts against the Nationals. 5 starts ago, he had a great game. That was sometime early last year in the summer with no fans at 58. Since then, a -2, a 0, an 18, and a 26. I like the Nationals lineup tonight. The profile really well. You look at advantages of 44, 66, 27, 36, 48, and 47 in 6 of their first 8 hitters. Their team totals at 3.5, -25, -125. I think they get over that team total tonight. So give me the Nats team total. We're going to get risky and take that. And I also think that Giants -0.5 in the first 5 at -110. You can lock that in as well. So 2 best bets for me, Giants, Nats. Let's get it done.
All right, let's get it done here. You know what else we're going to get done? Bring on the crashing thunder, the lightning, because it's time to hit the odds lightning round as we get around Major League Baseball. How about this one? 6-10 tonight. Pretty good game to start off. Jason, start with you here. 9-11, 9-12. Cease and Bieber, White Sox, and the Cleveland Indians. 158 at the FanDuel Sportsbook, 154 offshore as a favorite towards Cleveland. The problem with Cleveland is not trusting Bieber. It's trusting those bats to come alive. Cease, not a bad option here. Any shot with the dog here? Or it's just like, you know what? I'm staying out of Bieber's lane.
No, I do like the White Sox here at +135 in the first 5. I just think there's more value there. If you look at Bieber in his last 57 plate appearances against righties, 441 weighted OBA, an ISO of 260. It just had not been a great year for Bieber to begin with. I think he's coming off one of his better outings, but the reality is he's allowing runs, and he just hasn't been terrific. Now, I'm not saying the White Sox offense should do damage, but there's guys in the lineup that can produce. Grandal, Moncada, Abreu, Lamb, they've all hit righties pretty well so far in the last 30 days. So I do think that there's potential there for Bieber to get hit. And Cease, he's been really good so far this year. Lately, in the last 30 days, there's really nothing that's been that bad against him. The walks are a little bit high against righties, but that's about it. So I do think the White Sox at +135 get the job done in the first 5. I think there's some value there for sure.
All right, we're going to skip over that Minnesota-Baltimore game because I don't think anybody in the panel is going to be like, yeah, you know, Baltimore's got a legit shot in this game. Take them as a dog. So you know our feelings there. Runs, and more runs for Minnesota. We'll see if that total can pop up. Let's flip it down. 921, 922 here, Kyle. Miami and Toronto. Contra on the mound versus the lefty Robbie Ray. 152 offshore, 155 here in New Jersey. Points bet 160. Rivers out of Pennsylvania, 162. So you do have a heavy favorite for Toronto and warranted. Miami plays decent baseball, but the only way they win this game to me is if they keep the scoring low. One team has a big ability to have big booming innings, and that is Toronto. That's the way I would lean in this situation. In this one, 8.5, tough one because you're always going to have that 85 degrees in that minor league ballpark. Any thoughts here between Alcantara and Ray here, Miami and Toronto?
Yeah, I actually like the under in this game. Honestly, when I'm just looking over here, these 3-year averages, this Toronto lineup doesn't profile all that well. Now, I know Vlad is, the talk of the town, and he's been awesome. Well, the last 3 games, he hasn't been great. And Alcantara is not a can, all right? Our up, down, left, right, BA select start boy is not a can. I think both these pitchers have success tonight. I like the under in this game. I'm not confident enough to take a side. Of course, I would lean Toronto just because you trust that lineup more. You have two solid pitchers, and then you take the 2 lineups. Miami lineup's a bunch of AAA guys. I would lean Toronto. I don't like taking a side here, but I really do like. I almost made it a value menu play. I like that under 8.5 today. I think you see a low-scoring game here.
Already went over that Washington-Atlanta game a little bit, so I'm going to skip down one more game here with you, Jason. 923, 924, Detroit and Milwaukee. Boyd and Lauer, 2 lefties on the mound. And I know before the show we were chopping it up a little bit and talking it through. Here's what you're going to have to try to take out. Lauer's got a 3.29 xFIP on the season, which is very good. 25% strikeout rate, very good. Not walking a lot of guys. Here's the issue you have with Lauer. 60 at-bats he's faced from the right-hand side this year, a 343 weighted on base average, and an ISO power number of 218. Not very good. You're going to have all right-handed batters probably in the lineup tonight for the Detroit Tigers. The only problem is 7 out of the 9 absolutely stink. So that's the dichotomy that you have where you say, well, am I just going to fade Lauer because they're right-handed batters, or are these right-handed batters just complete and utter garbage? What do you think on this game?
I bet against Sauer in his last start. I think it was
he homered, right? Didn't he homer?
Yeah, it was against
fucking homered.
The Royals might have been. Yeah, either way,
he was Padres. It was the Padres,
okay.
I think. Yeah, it was the Padres.
I don't remember, but either way, he looked good in that start. So I don't think that could be overlooked because he's now thrown 22 innings on the year, allowed 6 earned runs, 5 of them are home runs. So basically, really solid with runners on base. 22 strikeouts and just 3 walks. So I don't think he could be overlooked at all. I think he's actually becoming a solid pitcher in the league. And you guys know my thoughts on Boyd. He's starting to struggle a little bit. And in that lineup for Milwaukee, Adames, Yelich, Garcia all have high numbers against lefties in the last 30 days. Of course, Yelich just 9 plate appearances because he was on the IL for a little bit of time. But the top of the order for the Brewers can definitely get on base and score some runs. Even the bottom of the order, they have potential to walk. So I do think Milwaukee is the better team here. I could see why you'd want to take the Tigers, but I just think Luer, the way he's pitched so far this season, I think it just can't be overlooked. 22 strikeouts and 3 walks. That's hard to do in the MLB. 6 earned runs, 5 home runs. So you're banking on the Tigers to hit a home run or 2 to stay in this game. And, they're so hit or miss. I'm not going to rely on that. So I would go with the Brewers here. And like I said earlier, I do like Yelich to get an extra base hit or just 2 hits over 1.5 of the total bases at plus 145. Just seems like a lot of value. But also I saw some people in the chat asking about the Brewers on their team total over 3.5. I like that to hit. Again, not only are they getting Boyd, but they'll also get the bullpen. I do think even with 8 innings, if they were to win, I think they can get to 4 runs in this game.
By the way, somebody in the chat box asking if this is our job or if we have day jobs. Well, just to let you know, like Kyle, as he said, male escort. Jason is a chemist, as you can tell by the glasses a little bit later. Yeah. This is pretty much our full-time job. Because obviously, if we're recently retired I'm a male model.
And a male model now. That's right. God, you got a lot of cool jobs. 43 kids, though. That's fucking crazy.
That's why I got to be a male model and come on here. I got a lot of shots.
That's right.
Never slows down. Kyle, take a look at San Diego and the Chicago Cubs. Weathers the lefty versus Hendricks the righty. 8s across the board, slight favorite to Chicago. And I have to tell you, every once in a while I glance at the standings. I'm kind of surprised Chicago is sitting there in first place in the NL Central, but here we are playing good baseball. How they match up, because I know Hendricks isn't the pitcher that he has been in the past and struggling a little bit versus the young kid Weathers. Any looks on this game here?
I kind of like listen, it's scary to bet overs in baseball now, but I'm seeing the number at 8. I like the over in this. I think both teams can hit the other pitcher. I do. Look, we don't bet the Cubs on this show, especially when they're playing the Padres. That's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not going to say that. But if I was, if I had the proverbial gun to my head, I would lean the Cubs tonight. Again, I liked that Chris Bryant home run prop. When you look at the advantages in the lineup tonight, 22, 68, 40, 66, and 34%. That's Baez, Wisdom, Contreras, Bryant, Happ. These are their power hitters. These are their run producers. When you look at the Padres, I mean, it's the usual suspects, right? It's Tatis, it's Machado, it's Cronenworth, it's Hosmer. Hard to pick a side here, but I think that over 8 runs is in jeopardy. I would lean the over 8 and a slight lean to the Cubs.
One of the few games that we seem to have matchups here, and I lost my value menu play yesterday. I should have went with the Houston Astros as opposed to the Boston Red Sox. But take a look at this game, Jason, between Richards and Garcia, a 156 to 158, depending where you're shopping at for the Astros. But if you look at both of these lineups, they're really good hitting lineups, with the Astros seemingly being able to hit their stride. Any thoughts here between Boston and Houston?
Yeah, I like the over. I think the Red Sox are the better team. I think Richards is the better pitcher compared to Luis Garcia. Garcia, 2.93 ERA. So when you look at that, you're like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. We talked about frauds earlier on Gant. Well, 4.27 FIP, and the ERA of 2.93. He allows a lot of power and can definitely see some balls getting out of the yard for the Red Sox. So maybe over 3.5 on their team total would be a good play. And I think the first 5 for the Red Sox at plus 105 is solid. I know that 3.5 team total is around minus 150, so you might have to go to that 4 or 4.5 on your books. But either way, I do think the Red Sox are the better team. Both offenses are really good, so I do agree with the over. But I think the Red Sox probably have the better chance of scoring multiple and more runs enough to hit their team total. So I do think the Red Sox are the play in this one, especially in the first 5.
Take a look at the next game here out in Kansas City, 925, 926, Kyle. That's between Crow and Singer. 180 again as a favorite here towards Kansas City. I don't mind that because when you take a look at Will Crow this year, an xFIP of minus 123 for his xFIP minus. He's been lit up all over the place. And then again, checks out fairly well in this game. If you're looking from a Kansas City perspective, it's not a great lineup. It's just basically saying this pitcher stinks. This team should hit him. 4.5 I went with as a value play here. Any thoughts on this game quickly between Crow and Singer?
Yeah, I like the Royals in the first 5. I actually considered Salvador Perez for a little home run prop today. He has a nice big advantage. And, we talked about it before the show. Crow stinks. Crow stinks, right? I mean, we don't love Singer, but Crow stinks. So you got to go Royals. You can get a minus 0.5, minus 130 in the first 5. That's the only way you're getting any real value here, unless you live bet it and maybe they get down a run or two. But it's Royals or bust for me, and maybe a little sprinkle on that Perez home run prop.
First time in a long time, it feels like we've talked about the Colorado Rockies at home in Colorado. Dunning versus Marquez, Texas versus Colorado. Slight favorite, opened up at minus 125 and minus 132 offshore for Colorado as a favorite. That now dips to around a minus 110. And how about this one? Colorado, a 9.5 total out here. Wildness, Jason. Talk to me.
Well, yeah, look, the Rockies are much better hitting the ball at home compared to on the road. So that's one of the bigger things why I'm staying away from this game. Although I do like Dane Dunning in this spot against the Rockies, it all matches up pretty well until the Rockies come home and start hitting the ball a little bit more. And then you're like, wait, what just happened? Dunning has had his moments, some really good moments this year, some really bad moments this year. He does match up really well. But now with the Rockies at home, just want to watch them a little bit and make sure that they're still that crappy offense that we're used to seeing, because they're just a little bit better at home. And so that's why I'm staying away from this. But the Rangers plus 100 in the first 5. The matchup looks good for Dunning here. Just be cautious because we are in Coors Field now.
I'll tell you what's fantastic here is the new age, old age argument here, Colin. We bring that up at 909, 910, St. Louis and the Los Angeles Dodgers, Gant versus Price. Because if you take a look and say, no, hold on. St. Louis is a good baseball team, right? They're getting plus 184 in New Jersey. And I have a guy with an ERA out here who started the entire season just about at 1.81. Where do I sign up? And then you take a look at his xFIP of 5.04, and his Sierra is just outrageously horrendous at 5.62. So we look at this and say, sooner or later, Gant is going to go 3 innings with 6 earned runs. Does it happen tonight?
I think it does. I like the over in this game. We talked about it sprinkled in the value man. I like the over 8.5. I almost took that Dodgers team total at over 4.5. I don't mind him in the first 5, minus 0.5 at minus 130 either. I do think the Dodgers tee off on Gant today. The Cards do have some advantages like we talked about against Price. I know he's been good, but again, very limited innings. We'll have to see if he can keep doing that against those righties for St. Louis. So I like the over in this game. I would lean the Dodgers. I'd lean him in the first 5 innings to get some value there, to get the number under 150. And I don't think you're crazy for taking the Dodgers team total either.
There you go. One more game left on the card here out west. I did have it circled for a little bit. The Oakland team total, came up for me, but going up against Marco Gonzalez, who I don't really like that much. A lefty that really tries to throw that sloppy curveball in the outside corner. And if an umpire is going to squeeze him, that could be damaging. Take a look at Gonzalez on the season, a 121 xFIP minus, a 4.89 xFIP, and a 4.83 Sierra number. It doesn't look good for him in this game, but you always have a little bit of pause, Jason, when you take a look at a game in Seattle, one of the ultimate pitchers' ballpark. But having said that, I still think Oakland should be able to hit in this game, and it shows, a minus 155 favorite.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of pitchers that struggled early on, got injured, come back. They're pitching just better than they were when they first started. So that would be the only reason to stay away from this game. Look, the bottom of the order for the Mariners, the projected lineup, of course, it's got Crawford, Godoy, Fraley, and Walton as your 5. Whatever. So, hey, look, nobody knows who these guys are, and they're your bottom of your order. And even like Jared Klenick, not even producing at all at the top of the order for the Mariners. So the Mariners, they won yesterday somehow in extra innings, and they have the Athletics number. So it's just something to potentially stay away from. The Athletics should get the job done. Everything matches up towards the Athletics, but for some reason the Mariners have done well against the Athletics. So if you're going to take the Athletics, take that team total and don't worry about them winning, because for some reason they're just struggling against the Mariners, against Crawford, Godoy, Walton, and whoever else out on the field for the Mariners.
275 plus people watching in the chat box. Thank you guys for your support. All the nice thumbs up there. All the chat boxes out here rocking. And I saw somebody say, look at all the people watching. Only a couple people chat. Don't be a lurker out here. Come in and say hello. Even if you want to say, Kyle, I only come in here to get mad at you, or Jason, take off your glasses, or Donnie never wins any games, which was in the chat box yesterday. I don't know. So I guess there's a lot of lunatics out here. But we like all the support because it's good for us. Yell at us, cheer us on, fade us, bet with us. It's exactly what we are here for. So let's clear the bases and get out of here today. Let's round up exactly what we have going on tonight. I have two value menu wagers I'm on today, the Minnesota Twins team total and the Kansas City Royals team total. Jason, what do you have tonight?
I'm on the Twins, minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115. We talked about it. The Twins should be scoring a lot of runs, and with Pineda on the mound, he's allowed just 1 run in the last 6 innings against the Orioles, so should have a great day. The Twins should be able to win that first 5 by multiple runs if you want to get a little bit risky and take like a minus 1.5 or whatever. And then also you have the Mets minus 112 in the full game against the Diamondbacks. Marcus Stroman on the mound going up against Caleb Smith. And Smith, this will just be his second start of the year, so do think the Mets can get to him early and can get to the Diamondbacks bullpen throughout the entire game, with Stroman staying out there for at least 6 innings, and he'll get the job done as well. So those are the 2 plays for today.
By the way, some of the best comments we've ever seen out here had to deal with Kyle basically saying, why is the baseball guy on the NBA show? Kyle, take it away. What do you got? Best bets, bankers, and also review.
Damn right. Well, although in fairness, I did get my props wrong yesterday, son of a bitch. But nonetheless, it's been a good run for the NBA playoffs. We'll get there. Okay, so let's get – so the value plays we like. We like that no runs first inning Miami-Toronto. We like the Rays minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 105. The Dodgers-Cardinals game to go over that 8.5 runs. Little home run sprinkle props here on Freddie Freeman and Chris Bryant. If you're only going to do one, I would lean Chris Bryant. Just it's a worse pitcher. I actually think Chris Bryant can get it done. My official plays of the day are going to be that Nationals team total over 3.5 against Max Fried at minus 125. And the Giants, minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 110. They should tee off on Heaney, and I think Wood can work his way through that order as well. And yeah, sure, we'll give a couple NBA props. Actually, I'll give one. I like LeBron, over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We need that Herculean effort from LeBron tonight without Anthony Davis. Is he going to be passive like he has been through the first 4 games, where he's just shooting threes and dribbling down the court and passing? If he does that tonight, the Lakers get the shit beat out of him. He needs to be aggressive tonight. I think he gets it done tonight.
Yep, and all of a sudden, and by the way, if the Lakers are down at the half, it's going to be this. This is Adam Silver. Hello? Re-up here on LeBron James in the second half, so get ready for it. No way the NBA is losing LeBron James in the first round. We'll see how it plays out. But, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Major League Baseball Show right here at sportsbookreview.com. Thank you for sharing your Tuesday with us. Let's see if we can cash some of these tickets in. For Donnie, for Jason, for Kyle, we are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. Let's get after the baseball card tonight. Good luck on those wagers.